The wind howled through the valley that December evening, carrying snow so thick it erased the world beyond. Martha's Diner. 72-year-old Elsie Thompson stood behind the counter, pouring coffee with steady hands that had done this work for 40 years. The diner had been her late husband Frank's dream. Now it was her purpose. Through the frosted window she saw them coming. 15 motorcycles rumbling through the storm, their riders bundled against the bitter cold. Most folks would have locked their doors. But Elsie had learned long ago that fear keeps you from seeing people's hearts. The bell chimed as the first biker pushed through the door, snow covering his leather jacket and gray beard. He looked to be in his 50s, with kind eyes that crinkled at the corners. "Ma'am, we hate to impose," he said, his voice rough but respectful. "But the highway's closed. We've been riding for hours." "Is there any chance come in? All of you?" Elsie interrupted, already reaching for more coffee mugs. "Before you freeze to death out there." One by one they filed in. 15 weathered faces, ranging from mid-40s to late 60s. Their leather vests bore the name Road Saints MC. They stamped snow from their boots and removed their helmets with surprising courtesy. The man who'd spoken first extended his hand. "Name's Jack Morrison. We're heading home to Wisconsin from a charity run in Tennessee. The storm caught us by surprise." Elsie shook his hand firmly. "Elsie Thompson. Sit down wherever you can find space. I'll get some food going." "We can pay, ma'am," said another biker, a stocky man with a sultan pepper ponytail. "We're not looking for handouts." "I know you can," Elsie replied, already pulling hamburger from the refrigerator. "But tonight, you're my guests." As she worked, the bikers settled into booths and counter seats. They spoke in low voices, respectful of the space. Elsie noticed how they stacked their wet jackets neatly, how they thanked her for every cup of coffee she refilled. "You're not afraid of us?" asked a younger member, maybe 45, with curious brown eyes. Elsie smiled. "My Frank always said you can't judge a book by its cover." He was right about most things. She made meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans. Comfort food for a cold night. As they ate, the bikers told her about their charity work, visiting children's hospitals and raising money for veterans. Jack explained they were mostly former military tradesmen and family men. "We look rough," he said with a slight grin, "but we're just regular folks who like to ride." The storm worsened. Through the windows, the snow fell so heavy the streetlights disappeared. Elsie checked the weather on her old radio. The highways wouldn't open until morning at the earliest. "You boys can't ride in this," she announced. "The diner has a back room with some space. It's not fancy, but it's warm and dry." "Ma'am, that's too much," Jack protested. "Nonsense. I've got blankets in the storage closet." Frank always kept extra supplies for emergencies. She wouldn't hear any arguments. The bikers helped her arrange the space, moving tables and bringing in blankets. They were remarkably organized, making sure everyone had a spot. The older members took the harder surfaces without complaint, insisting the younger ones take the cushioned areas. Before they settled down, Jack approached Elsie again. "This kindness means more than you know. Most people see the leather and the bikes and cross the street." Elsie patted his hand. "Most people miss out on meeting good folks then." That night, as the bikers slept and the storm raged, Elsie lay in her small apartment above the diner. She thought about Frank, about all the strangers who'd become friends in this little diner. She'd made the right choice tonight. She knew it in her bones. Morning came with brilliant sunshine. The storm had passed, leaving the world blanketed in white. Elsie woke early and started making breakfast. Bacon, eggs, pancakes, the works. The bikers stirred, surprised to wake to the smell of home cooking. They ate together, the conversation easier now. They showed her pictures of their families, their grandchildren. One biker, a gentle giant named Tom, teared up talking about his daughter's recent graduation. After breakfast, they prepared to leave. Jack pulled out his wallet, but Elsie waved it away. "Keep your money. Buy something nice for your families." "Ma'am, I mean it." Jack's eyes glistened. He hugged her gently. "Thank you, Elsie. We won't forget this." The bikers said their goodbyes, each one thanking her personally. They fired up their motorcycles and rode off single file. waving as they disappeared down the cleared highway. Elsie cleaned up, thinking about the unexpected blessing of the night before. Then she heard it. A rumble growing louder. She stepped outside and gasped. The highway was filled with motorcycles. Dozens of them. No, more than that. They stretched as far as she could see, at least 100 bikes lined up along the road. The road saints stood in front, and Jack walked toward her with a huge smile. "We made some calls last night," he said. "Told our brothers and sisters what you did for us. Every club within 200 miles wanted to say thank you. The bikers had brought everything. Boxes of groceries, firewood stacked neatly, envelopes of cash for repairs Elsie had mentioned the diner needed. Some carried flowers, others homemade pies. A woman with silver braids hugged Elsie and whispered, "You gave our boys shelter. Now let us take care of you." Tears streamed down Elsie's face as the community of riders worked together. They fixed the loose step on her porch, replaced burnt-out lights, even repainted the diner's sign. The older ladies organized the groceries while the men tackled repairs. "You showed us we're not invisible," Jack said quietly, standing beside Elsie as she watched the organized chaos. "You saw us as people. That's rare." By afternoon, the work was done. But the bikers didn't leave immediately. They'd brought their families, turned it into a gathering. Children played in the snow while adults shared stories. Someone produced a guitar and soft music filled the air as the sun began to set. Painting the snow golden, Jack handed Elsie an envelope. "This is from all the clubs," he said. "We took up a collection. It's enough to keep the diner running for a good long while." Elsie tried to refuse, but Jack shook his head. "You gave us dignity when we needed it most. Let us give you security, please." That night, after the last motorcycle had rumbled away, Elsie sat in the quiet diner. She looked at the envelope, at the repaired sign visible through the window, at the stocked shelves. She thought about fear, about kindness, about the unexpected angels who ride motorcycles. Frank had been right. People were good if you gave them the chance to show it. The next morning, a hand-painted sign appeared in the diner window, courtesy of an artistic biker. It read, "All are welcome here, especially those on two wheels." And they came. Not just bikers, but people from all walks of life, drawn by the story of the kind old lady who sheltered strangers in a storm. The diner thrived, becoming a beacon of acceptance in a world that often judges too quickly. Elsie lived many more happy years, surrounded by an unlikely family of leather-clad guardian angels who never forgot the woman who saw past their appearance to their hearts. If this story warmed your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of kindness and human connection. Leave a comment below telling us about a time a stranger's kindness changed your day. Let's spread more compassion in this world together.